There's a new administration in Washington. What does that mean for your retirement account? There's a lot of uncertainty, and markets hate uncertainty. But if you qualify, you may be able to convert your retirement account into solid gold. Protect with a gold IRA this month, and Noble Gold will gift you with this stunning solid silver Apollo 11 commemorative coin from the U.S. Mint. Click on the link below or call 877-646-5346 to see if you qualify. Good evening. I'm still reporting on the coup. There are mysteries aplenty surrounding why Trump couldn't do more than he did. Mystery number one is, why have there been no arrest of the coup participants? That alone has allowed a huge swath of leftist and centrist Americans unsure that there was any coup, unsure that this was not all just some giant conspiracy theory on the part of deranged Trump supporters. Well, eventually, something this big, one way or another, the truth has to start leaking out. And what to me was the keystone piece of this strange puzzle was revealed this morning in the very last segment of Maria Bartiromo's show. Yes, indeed, the best was saved for last, and from a rather unlikely source. The source was Peter Navarro, the former U.S. Trade Representative for President Trump. Boy, did he ever let the cat out of the bag.
Before an executive order reaches the president's desk, it must first be vetted. It's vetted by the Department of Justice, which begs the question, how are 17 of these executive orders ready to go and waiting for President Biden to sign minutes after inauguration on day one? Former White House trade advisor Peter Navarro prepared executive orders for President Trump. He knows the process better than most. Peter, good morning to you. Good to see you. So let's talk about that in terms of the executive orders. What is the process, Peter? Take us through so that we can better understand how it was that President Biden was able to get so many EOs out on day one.
Sure, Maria. In my term, 4 years at the White House, I probably drafted over 50 of these orders. What you have to do is make sure you have the statutory authority to do what you're going to do, right? And the last checkbox that needs to be done is at the Department of Justice for what's called form and legality. Now, here's the news behind the news. Bill Barr, President Trump's Attorney General, actually turns out to be also Joe Biden's first Attorney General, because here was what was happening. We had over 30 executive orders queued after Election Day, ready to go, but we kept running into all these roadblocks and hurdles. It turns out that Bill Barr's Office of Legal Counsel was fast-tracking all of these Biden EOs.
Now just let that sink in for 1 minute. Could this possibly be true? If it is, it's the blockbuster of this entire coup d'etat story. Trump's Attorney General, Bill Barr, was fast-tracking the executive orders that Joe Biden signed on day one of his stay in the White House. That's why on day one he had 17 executive orders to sign and admitted that he didn't even know what he was signing at one point. As Navarro tells it, Barr was in essence Joe Biden's first Attorney General, a total betrayal of President Trump. Now let's hear some more of this twisted tale.
This has implications, Maria. I'll tell you about one that got away from us, and I'll tell you about one that Biden did. The first one that Biden did is an abomination. We did a beautiful executive order. I worked with Bruce Walker and Dan Brule over the Department of Energy and Mark Menzies to basically prevent the communist Chinese from selling bulk power equipment into our electricity grid. If we ever have a conflict with China, they're much more likely to pull down our electricity grid using cyber attacks than they are to, say, drop a bomb on us. Why? Because that's modern warfare Chinese style, right? So we had this beautiful order. One of the orders that Bill Barr helped Joe Biden do was to basically unwind that order.
Whoa! I knew this Biden executive order was trouble for the United States. That's why I made it the subject of report number 3475. Did Biden open power grid to China? Yes, I mean we got trouble. Right here in River City.
Welcome back. We're back with former White House trade advisor Peter Navarro. Peter, you were telling us about the executive orders that you drafted, and one that got away was on onshoring because you say Bill Barr was working on the incoming administration's EOs as opposed to the outgoing administration's EOs.
Yeah, we got slow walked at the Department of Justice, and this is a problem that I told Barr about numerous times, and yeah, he should have been fired months before he was. I mean, by the last year of this administration, he was really working against this administration in a lot of ways. And these executive orders, the bottleneck was at the Department of Justice on so many things we did.
So there you have it. The bottleneck was always at justice. Now, I had mistakenly attributed this to Obama's deep state players who Obama had appointed by the hundreds into the Justice Department. If memory serves me, Mr. O bragged at one point very early on in his first term that he would appoint 1,000 young Ivy League lawyers into the Department of Justice. I trembled at that thought at the time. But no, if Navarro was right, the problem was right at the top with A.G. Barr himself. Could he have been the reason Comey, McCabe, and company never have been charged with anything? Someday Mr. Barr will write his memoir of this era, and it will be interesting to see how he explains this. So before we go one more step further, I've got to apologize to my audience. Over and over again, I affirm my belief that Bill Barr was this nation's salvation, but apparently he was not. And if so, I was horribly wrong. Navarro was then asked about his assessment of the U.S. economy going forward.
In May of 2020, I was in the Oval Office with the president. We wanted to get a $2 trillion package passed, much like the one, but we lost 9 months now because Nancy Pelosi thought it would be better to stonewall that package and hope that President Trump lost on the economy. She got her wish, but she has killed thousands, hundreds of thousands of small businesses. That's the scarring Janet Yellen has been talking about in her speech. And 2021 is going to be a tough time because those small businesses are gone. They ain't coming back.
Maria then broke news to me.
Hunter Biden got a $2 million advance for his new book. It is now on the bestseller list. Beautiful Thing, it's called, by Hunter Biden, and he still has that investment in a Chinese company.
This is so in your face. Even with the MSM totally on Biden's side, do you actually think they can put this one over on the American people as well? Navarro says that minutes after Joe Biden took the oath of office, Navarro, Mike Pompeo, Steve Bannon, and others had sanctions slapped on them personally by China for their work for the Trump administration.
4 minutes after Joe Biden got inaugurated, I went on the sanctions list of China along with Pompeo, Pottinger, Bannon, and others. And meanwhile, Hunter Biden, a crack addict who used influence peddling to profiteer in China with a top Chinese spy using his father's name to make money, is getting a $2 million book deal. Well, Josh Hawley is getting his book contract burned. That's an abomination.
That's true.
I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of American freedom. Good day. Every doctor on TV says that we all need to boost our immune systems. And STEM Enhance does that in a unique way by increasing blood levels of your own adult stem cells, the backbone of your immune system, by over 30% in just 1 hour. Click on the link in the description box below for details.